Kazár is a settlement on the northern part of Hungary with 1,950 inhabitants. It is a well-known mining village famous for its folklore, folk costumes, and folk traditions. Because of its hard work in developing the village, it started in 1996. They won the Hungarian Village Renewal Prize in 2007. In 2008, they represented Hungary in the European Renewal Movement, where they were given several prizes for their outstanding achievements. Körispatak is a Transylvanian settlement that lies in the valley of Küsmöd stream. The profession of the straw plaiting made the village famous when they set up the Straw Hat Museum in 2011, which is unique in Europe. The exhibition shows all kinds of straw hats, and one can also have a look at the process of making a straw hat from the harnessing to the hat wearing. Gemerszkavesz, Gömörfalva, is a Slovakian-Hungarian settlement with 900 inhabitants. It was united by Harkács and Sánkfalva on the bank of the river Túróc. The village looks after its tradition and makes its face more and more beautiful. The regional house shows the folklore and the heritage of the local history. Liptovska Teplicska is a Slovakian village with 2,500 inhabitants lying 900 meters far from the upper flow of the Fekete Vág at the foot of the mountain Tátra. The inhabitants deal with farming, keeping animals, but by today the village has become a tourist center. It has an outstanding folk architecture and handcraft tradition. The village won the prize of the Village of the Year in 2007, and they also got prize in 2008, named European Village Renewal Prize for their outstanding work in developing their village. Liptál is a Czech settlement with 2,000 inhabitants. Its surroundings are covered by forests. It has a rich architecture heritage, its unique place of interest in the natural amphitheater, where international folk festivals are kept every year. They won prize of Village of the Year in 2006 in the Czech Republic for their outstanding result in the Village Renewal Program. They also won a prize in 2008 for their special achievements in several fields of the European Village Renewal Prize. Kunyovice is a Polish village with 800 inhabitants. It belongs to the town of Kluczbork along the Strobowa National Park. settlement has reached outstanding results with its unique ideas, projects, and with their enthusiastic inhabitants who personally took part in the programs. The village has been famous for its traditional jobs, smithy, baker. During the last years, they put an emphasis on the forming the informational society. For their outstanding achievements in several fields, they were given the European Village Renewal Prize in 2008. Kriško, it's a Slovenian settlement in Low Steyr country. The town is the cultural center of the region with several institutions. The variable area offers fantastic possibilities for relaxing, entertaining. We can spend our free time with biking, running, jogging, touring, riding a horse. Liptovska Teplička organized the conference. Its name was Cultural Traditions and Local Products. Before starting the conference, Homoga József photo artist opened his photo exhibitions based on the pictures and photos made in the photo camp. After it, the children showed how they keep their tradition and value. The participants spoke about how to preserve, keep their traditions, and how to hand it down. How can folk art become a defining product, and how it influenced the development of the tourism at the foot of the mountain Tatra. During this program, the guests went to visit the local cooperative store, where they learned the process of cheese making. The participants of the conference visited the local institutions too. The conference on traditional and modernization with civils was about the cooperation of civils and their role in the development. The base of the village development is how we involve the inhabitants, the civil organizations into the work, what kind of possibilities we can offer for them to develop. We learned from the lectures how we can join into the organization work, the young and the old generation, into the fields of culture, religion, sport, or any other volunteering organization like Free Brigade or Folk Song Circle. The lecture made it obvious how the private national specialties can be formed into common European value, preserving their unique features and showing their value. In the beginning of the year, we announced the children drawing competition. The title of it was My Village. From the pictures, we organized an exhibition and gave prizes for the first 3 participants and the schools. We also introduced the products and pieces made in the amateur fine art camp. we organized the closing conference at Kazár. Its title was the Sustainable County Development, where the businessmen talked about how the local products can help the development of the village. Lively interest followed the lecture about the working of the cooperative in Liptovska Teplička, where Mr. Kozen talked about the cooperative takes part in the life of the village, how the motel works, that is supported by the cooperative, where they only use their own products. The owner of the Helux family undertaking talked about how Poland could be well known about the lamps they made. The owner of the Axamo Kft. Completed her lecture with fashion show and a visit to the dressmaker's room. The life of the 45-year-old firm and its products and the duties in the life of the village were also shown. The participants from Körispatak talked about how they revived the village with the making straw hats and with the tourism thanked for it. In their free time, the guests could meet the sights around Kazár and the honey made there, and the fruits liquor and the secrets of their production. During this program, the legal cooperation was signed by Kazár and Liptovska Teplička. Photo camp. The village life and the people of it were introduced through the camera. We can realize, by looking at the pictures, that the village has changed a lot, and it shows never and never color for someone who can recognize it. In the photo camp, an enormous picture material was produced. There were shown every village. We choose from several thousands of photos when we put the pictures of the exhibition together. Taking photographies was an enjoyment for everybody. For the beginners, it meant the feeling of discovery. For the experts, it gave a big pleasure, a special feeling to stop the passing time and preserve the unique moments. Dance camp was organized in Kőrispatak. The young could look in the Hungarian folk dance world, especially for the Transylvanian dances. They could learn the participants' religious tradition, the Székely folk culture. They met many new choreographies. They could learn the dances of Boncida from Transylvanian dance teachers. The meeting and working with the publication of data was amazing, a big enjoyment. Besides the dance learning, the young people could meet the natural value of the county, Békásszoros, Gyilkostó, but they could learn the process of making straw, they could discover the Székely Gates messages, and they had a chance to wander into the Transylvanian landscape. Amateur Fine Arts Camp. The wood carving lesson happened with the help of the instructors. Lectures were given about the art of the wood carving, the trees, the tools needed to the art. The participants of the camp could take the project pieces from their own work, and they also organized an exhibition from them. Simple but original tail figures and animals were produced during the program, and the participants, wood carvers and villages organized an exhibition from them. The wood carvers could meet the sights of the village and its tourist attractions. Music Camp, Kazár. This program gave possibility for the young musicians to take part and perform in Kazár. The young participants learned the music culture of different countries, and they also showed their own musical tradition. There was a lecture about the Hungarian folk music and how to make musical instruments. During the week there was a possibility to meet the values of Palóc and Kazár songs, old musicians from Kazár who talked a lot about the groups of the old time. The young musicians learned a lot of common tunes, they played music outdoor and gave concerts within the performance The Forest Plays Music in Kazár. The common production was shown in the closing conference as well. European Cooking Academy for Women was the title of the program, where women and some men of the villages could spend 5 days together in Kazár. Within the program, the participants could meet the special Hungarian and the traditional Palóc kitchen, and also the typical dishes of the participants' countries and villages. They had possibilities to get closer to each other's gastronomical habits. They could collect the common features and the specialties of the particular dishes. Each group cooked their typical meal and offered the recipes. They showed an exciting taste travel in the program. Those who have not visited those villages, countries yet, they get a chance with the new recipe book. Last but not least, the participants could introduce themselves in the Laska Festival in Kazár, where the nation's cuisine program was an enormous success. Closing conference. The program lasted for the 2 years and its experience was summarized in Kazár in May 2012. The participants talked about the influence of the program on the village life, how new connections were made among the people's civil organizations. The new cooperation influenced by the program among the institutions, civil organizations and businessmen and people were shown. On the closing conference, the films, leaflets, brochures were also shown that were made during the 2 years. A photo exhibition was also presented about the programs of the 2 years. The participants could take them home. We finished the project with a real European picnic, where we organized the competition among the participant villages based on mental and physical abilities. On the closing day, the inhabitants of the village and other visitors could take part in the big ceremony, where everybody offered something special from his own kitchen and showed his own tradition, music and special programs.